Hello and welcome to Fortress, Alaska. I'm your host Dave, and today we are going to be discussing the importance of backup iron sights and also the importance of bayonets, which I still think are very useful even on the modern military battlefield, and I'll explain why as you see the video. Now also I'd like to mention that I have started a Utreon account. Utreon is kind of like YouTube and kind of like Patreon, although it is totally free to watch. The advantage of Utreon is they have very simple rules. They don't have complicated rules that no one understands. Pretty much, if it's legal to do, it can be on Utreon. My videos pretty much are safe for my mother to watch. So I have no problem. I could sit and watch any one of my videos with my mother sitting next to me. So I haven't got any problems. However, YouTube doesn't necessarily like my videos. In fact, they don't like some of the things in my videos just because of their size or capacity. Well, Utreon doesn't care. Utreon pretty much goes by the rule, if it's legal, it's okay. So they have like 10 or 12 rules. It's very simple, easy to understand. And also I had the feeling that eventually YouTube is probably going to drop out anything to do with firearms out of YouTube. It's just a matter of time. So I thought I'd get it ahead of the game and get onto Utreon. Now my entire account has not yet been transferred over. They are doing it. They're not moving terribly fast, but at least I'm not having to do it. They're doing it for me. So, which is nice because I wouldn't want to have to upload 60 some videos. In addition, I have also got fiber for my internet. So now instead of being on a telephone line and extremely slow internet, I have fiber optics, and I am literally 100 times faster for uploads and downloads. So my videos should become in a higher quality because instead of uploading all day, I can now upload in minutes, and I'll be able to do longer and more in-depth videos. Because before, uploading a 20-minute video would be a 10 to 12 hour event, and that just wasn't acceptable to me. So, but now it'll be maybe a 15 to 20-minute event, so that I can do. So my video should be a little bit more detailed and a little bit higher quality in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and start watching the video. I hope you enjoy it, and please remember to like and subscribe and share with your friends. So let's start the video on backup iron sights and on bayonets. This is a modern sporting rifle, AR operating system. This is a common rifle used by many people throughout the country for sport shooting, target shooting, plinking, just having fun, and yes, even hunting. Depending on the state you live in, depends on your magazine size. Here in Alaska, they don't care what size our magazine is, so I could hunt with any magazine I want in there. Although there's really not much I would want to hunt in Alaska with a 5.56, but they also make larger versions in this in caliber suitable for hunting moose and deer and caribou. But anyways, the reason I'm here today is take a close look at this rifle, and I want you to notice something about it. Now just look at the rifle, and now I'm going to run a short video and tell me what you see different in the rifle.
Yeah, get out there.
Okay, what you saw different was right here. There is no optical sight on the rifle in that video, although it's the exact same rifle. This sight is a replacement sight. On that 4th of July day shoot, my rifle had a red dot sight on it. However, that red dot sight stopped working that day. It worked fine the night before when I got everything all set up. In the morning before I left, I double checked, everything was operational. I got to the range, turned things on, and the red dot stopped working. Changed out the battery, still wouldn't work. So it was not the battery, and this has backup by use of solar. So even though it was a beautiful sunny day, I still had no red dot. So there are people on the internet that will tell you you do not need backup iron sights. It's archaic. It's out of date. You're not in the 21st century. Well, guess what? My 4th of July day shooting would have been ruined if not for the fact that I have backup iron sights. Now, backup iron sights such as these are the expensive version because these are steel. But you can get polymer ones, Magpoles. These are Magpoles. you get polymer backup iron sights for front and back, cost you about $100. A backup red dot, $400. And then plus you throw that on and it's not necessarily sighted. Where my iron sights are sighted, they're on the rifle. I take that red dot sight off and I can use my iron sights just perfectly. Or I can leave the red dot sight on and use my iron sights perfectly. In the video you see, I did take it off because I took it off to try to do maintenance or repair on it, and there was no luck. It was not going to operate. I will say this much though, the manufacturer, Holosun, did keep their warranty. I sent it in and they sent me a new one. That's not the issue of the video. Yes, I understand things break. My point is backup iron sights are essential. I use them on all my hunting rifles. I use them on all my plinking rifles. I use them on all my rifles. Because if something goes wrong with the optic, it gets damaged, it just stops working, whatever. I have iron sights and I can still enjoy my time out shooting. Not all of us have a range in our backyard. Some of us have to drive substantial distances. We may take the family out. It could be an event such as mine was a 4th of July shooting event. And that's not the time you want to have no sights on your rifle. So despite what other YouTube experts will say, backup iron sights are not out of date. They are up to date. They are 21st century. They are required. If you are going to use a rifle for anything, have backup iron sights. I just can't say it enough. Don't just depend on an optical sight. You can fall, you can drop the rifle, someone else can bang into you. 1,000 things can happen to ruin the optical sight. And then you have your backup iron sights. The odds of both of them going are slim to none. And in addition, some will say, we'll just have a backup red dot. Remember, backup red dot, $400. Backup iron sights, $100. How many backup sights you want me to have? So, anyways, so there's my opinion on backup iron sights for rifles. And this, for me, I don't care if this is a hunting rifle, a plinking rifle, a combat rifle, have backup iron sights. I happen to know the military, even though they use ACOGs or aim points, whatever they have in the rifle, most of them still have iron sights on those rifles. So, that's my opinion on backup iron sights. They are not out of date. They do not ruin the rifle. I still am in the 21st century. So, use backup iron sights. This is an AR-15, similar looking to an M16, but not the same rifle, other than just looks. And this is my point on bayonet and bayonet lugs. Although the Army did adopt a rifle that does not have any way of attaching a bayonet, to me that is silly. The bayonet lug is small. As you can see, it's right here. Adds almost no weight to the rifle. It's an insignificant little feature. However, should you need a bayonet, it's better to have the options to put one on it than to not have that option. And I would like to point out, this is not a weapon of war. No military ever has taken a rifle like this into war. This is just a sporting rifle that happens to look like something the military uses. Anyways, as I was saying, bayonet lugs. You pay almost no penalty in weight for that bayonet lug. So, let's look at bayonets. Okay, here we have 4 bayonets from history. You can see this one particular one is ridiculously long. Would not make a very good field knife and is really long and obnoxious for having on your rifle. This is a little bit nicer with a 10-inch blade. That's a good useful blade. But still the bayonet is not designed all that great as a field knife. And then 2 smaller bayonets, each with say an 8-inch blade. Maybe a little bit better for a field knife, but still simple knife. So let's take a look at the blades themselves. Okay, so now you can actually see the blades. And all the blades are very similar. Let's just take this one to say. It is not the heaviest blade. It really doesn't have many functions. I mean, you could use it as a field knife, but in all honesty, it's not as stout as you want a field knife to be. But it could be used for many things other than just a bayonet. So they're all very useful. This one gets a little ridiculous over here. But the blades, all in general, make useful blades. They would make an okay knife in the field, an okay camping knife, but probably not the best field knife of all. So, but like I'm trying to get the point across is I keep thinking about these as field knives as well as bayonets, because the argument can be made, and a very strong argument can be made, that anytime you're out in the field, having a high quality field knife is a very useful tool, whether you're camping, hiking, hunting, or in military deployments in places you don't want to be. Having a good field knife is a very useful tool. And as you can see with these, so this one in particular I want to show, because on its tang, it only has one little knob there for holding it in place on the rifle. Most have this part on the tang so that it can go around the barrel or flash suppressor, and that's how they stay in place. So you pay almost no weight penalty to have your knife be a bayonet. So you're going to carry a knife and you're going to carry the rifle, so your only weight penalty is probably about the weight of a quarter. There's no real weight penalty to having your knife be a bayonet, so why not have it? So I still argue for the bayonet. So we're going to show you one more bayonet here. Just give me a moment. This bayonet is the U.S. Marine Corps bayonet. It would make an awesome field knife. It's stout. You can feel it in holding it. It's got a good rubberized handle for grip. Nice serrated edge for when you have to cut rope or other things. A good sized blade and a very stout blade. Good for making firewood, cutting things you need to cut. Anything you need to do in camp or field operations, you can do with this knife. This is a very sturdy field knife that also happens to be a bayonet. So, once again, my argument, if you're going to carry a bayonet, why not make it be a field knife? And if you're going to carry a good field knife, why not make it be a bayonet? Because you compare this to, say, this, you can see the difference. One of these was really not meant to be a field knife. It literally is just meant to be a bayonet, a pokey thing on your end of the rifle. So you carry a knife that's no good as a field knife. This, however, could be used for batoning to make kindling for firewood. It can be used to cut anything you need to cut, including two-legged vermin, but it also makes a good bayonet. So, once again, my argument for having bayonets on military rifles is that you're going to have a good field knife for camp use. Why not make it so it can be a bayonet? And if you're going to have a bayonet, why not make it to be a good field knife? And therefore, you only need the one tool, and it takes care of both things. And in this nice scabbard, this is a much more modern one, obviously. So, on the back of this bayonet is a small stone for sharpening it. So the scabbard has a built-in stone for sharpening, so you're good to go there. So this makes not only a fine bayonet, but a very good field knife. It's heavy, it's stout, it can be used for almost anything you would need a good field knife to be, and it can also be a bayonet. So once again, if you're going to need a field knife, why not make it a bayonet? And if you need a bayonet, why not also make it a field knife? I may disagree with the current Army thinking. Obviously, I still agree with the Marine Corps thinking, because they still use bayonets and they make good ones for their troops. So, that's my opinion on both bayonets and on backup iron sights. So, I hope you found that interesting. Those are my opinions on the importance of backup iron sights and on bayonets. Bayonet really is just a field knife that can attach to your rifle. And there is no one who could argue in a good way that a field knife is not useful to someone in the field, on combat maneuvers, doing anything. I carry two knives with me all the time, everywhere I go. And when I'm camping, I carry a larger camp knife. So, as you saw from that Marine Corps bayonet, that would make a very nice camping field knife. And so it can also attach to your rifle. And for military operations, that makes a lot of sense to me. So, those are my opinions. Anyways, so I hope you like the video, but please like and subscribe, share with your friends. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and a bunch of other, the typical places. Just look for Fortress Alaska and you'll find me. Now mind you, the other sites are pretty much all about hiking and berries and things in Alaska and just just little snippets of Alaska, like when I got charged by a moose the other day. So anyways, as always, avoid getting charged by moose, and have a good day and get out shooting.